What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. So I want to give you guys some news because something is going to be changing. So as you guys can tell from the title, the R40 K24 build, the 300 wheel horsepower build, is not happening anymore. And that's because I'm not going to be putting that motor into this car. We've got some change of plans. I'm putting it inside this car. So this is a 2015 Honda Civic Si, and it has a very similar engine to what's found inside the Accord. So this has a K24 Z3, this has a single downpipe, and I'm going to be changing that to a full 4 individual runner cylinder head and exhaust manifold so that I can get more power. Now, this Civic has the same thing, so the same downpipe. The one difference between the K24 build that I'm doing, that was going to be going inside to here, that's now going to be going in here, the main difference, the main change that's going to happen is intake manifold and then the exhaust manifold. Other than that, everything else is going to be basically a direct bolt-on. So because I'm going from a later K24Z engine that's found inside here and in here, and I'm going to be using a K24A cylinder head, it's going to make it so that's pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to be able to get that 300 horsepower motor into this car. And this thing weighs 400 pounds less than the Accord. Now, I wasn't exactly planning on buying a Civic. I did because I found a very low kilometer, very good condition 2015. Let me show you it. So my Accord's an 09, it's got 240,000 kilometers on it. It's got a K24 Z3 engine, and I was planning on swapping that engine over to something a little bit better. This car, it's got a little bit of age to it. It still works great to this day, but I want to put that really high horsepower engine into this car. Now this here is a 2015 Honda Civic Si. It's got 66,000 kilometers. It's pretty much bone stock. So if we go inside the cabin, you'll be able to see it's got everything that you'd see from a regular 2015 Civic. So the red seats, nice infotainment system, leather steering wheel, you know, the whole shebang. The nice thing about this car is that because it's a very low kilometer, good condition car, I'm going to be using this as a great platform to upgrade. So I've got that new engine going in, and with that being said, this car is going to have a lot more power than what this car came with. So on the dyno, if you guys were basically to throw this on there, you're going to see something around about 170 wheel horsepower. I'm looking to almost double that. So with that being said, that means I'm going to be upgrading many other things, like the suspension, the brakes, the chassis, everything else on the car has to be upgraded in order to handle that power. Now I lied, this car isn't completely stock. It has Skunk 2 lowering springs on it, and on the back side of the car, it's got a little something in the back where it's got a debadged Civic, and the muffler down here is gone. It's got a muffler delete. But short from that, the car's in really good condition. The rear bumper was in a slight accident. This was repainted. The colors, you know, it's decent. Fitment's not perfect, but it's a really good condition car. It's got a little dent right here. That I can probably get popped out, but I'm not too worried about that. And then the front bumper was also repainted. It was in an accident, and it was, you know, something happened up here, a little boo-boo. So it looks like it was re-clear coated, and it had a little bit of a run. So I'll try and fix that up. If not, I'll probably get that resprayed, but this car is a great platform for this new mod. So in the engine bay, we'll be able to see a very low kilometer, great condition engine. So the aluminum in here isn't exactly that corroded. It's got an extra motor mount compared to my Accord. I don't have that one there, and it makes a really big difference as to how fast you can shift and how little the engine rocks forwards and backwards. Pretty much everything in here is going to come out. Battery's going to get changed over. Transmission is going to get changed. Clutch, flywheel, the engine itself, a bunch of the mounts, a bunch of everything. So there's a bunch that's going to have to get done to support that 300 wheel horsepower. So 300 wheels, about 340 crank, at least for these Hondas, and that's pretty much what I'm shooting for with this engine. Now the exhaust manifold that I was going to run on my aftermarket engine, it doesn't exactly work between this car and this car. Because the subframes are a little bit different, I'm going to have to run something else. So back here, there's actually a good amount of space for a set of exhaust manifolds. Or a exhaust manifold. The manifold here goes straight back, down, and underneath the subframe, where for this car, the way it works is it's going to come out a little bit, but it's going to angle back more and go above the subframe and then down into the catback. So it's a little bit different of a setup. I've heard of a bunch of guys using Skunk 2 manifolds to get this to work. Same kind of thing with this, but it's a little bit different. I've also heard of PLM headers that will kind of work with this K24 build. If I were to do the swap into this chassis, it really depends on which one you're working with. So the car, the engine, what you're doing, it's all going to have to get kind of customized. With that being said, though, I'm also going to have to run a different catback because this catback is not rated for 300 horsepower or 340, whichever way you guys want to look at it. Considering this thing makes a little bit over 200 stock, the stock setup isn't going to be adequate enough. So I think right now the game plan is do this motor swap, get this worked out, and get it swapped into the Civic over the course of the winter time, and then I'll be driving this during the winter, so I actually have a car to get me from A to B. It's reliable, it does the trick. Once I have this swap done into the Civic, I think that's when I'll probably get rid of the Accord and make this thing my new daily. And a daily that's got 300 wheel. It's gonna be pretty sick. I don't know how much of a sleeper look I'm gonna be going for, but I don't wanna go over the top. I don't wanna do like crazy camber and all that crap. I wanna go functional, daily, it's gonna look good, it's gonna be fast as hell, and it's gonna be a sleeper, I'm thinking. It looks pretty good right now with the black and gray. Let me know what you guys think. Now, let me turn this on. Let me give you a couple revs. I think it's a little bit louder than what I want, but considering it's decent for now and I'm not really gonna be driving it too much, this is gonna do. Once I do the header swap and engine swap and all that stuff, I'm probably gonna go for a full 3-inch exhaust setup that's gonna be a little bit quieter. This is still with the stock tune, stock everything right now. There's nothing done performance-wise to it. With the Accord, I'm on K-tuner. I've got a full catback, header setup, no cats. And well, let me give you a couple revs of this thing just to show you, give you a little bit of comparison. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little torn. I don't know which one I like the look of more. I'm kind of leaning towards the Accord because it's got more elegant curves to it. But I know for a fact that this Civic is gonna be a much nicer car to modify, and it's gonna be a better performing car. The chassis on this is a lot stiffer than the Accord. The Accord, it's more of a, you know, comfortable vehicle. It's something to get you from A to B and enjoy it. You're not supposed to be modifying them. You're not supposed to be slamming it and putting stiff coilovers on it and taking it to the track and putting slicks on it. I've kind of gone a little bit too far for this chassis. I feel like you could definitely make it stiffer with some chassis bracing and stuff like that, but I feel like this Civic is a little bit more suited towards what I want to do. Let me know what you guys think. I really like the gray. I was kind of leaning towards a white or a red. Definitely didn't want black, especially after dealing with this for my daily. But in the meantime, I found this gray one. I think it looks great. It's a very good canvas for me to start painting mods on. What do you guys think? If you guys are as excited as I am to get this thing up and going, click the sub button, make sure you guys are subscribed. Let me know what you guys think should be the first modification for this thing. After I get the engine up and going, what should I do? Fire cannon? Huh? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.